My journey of transformation started in 2004 when a team of doctors gave me 7 days to live. They diagnosed me with anemia, pancreatitis, pneumonia, 20 pounds overload of fluid on my body, a fluid-packed lung, kidney failure, a parasite in my stomach, and AIDS. And there's something that happens when doctors give you a certain amount of time to live and you're faced with your death. You start to ask yourself a question, what did I do with this one life that I was given? Did I live it well? Well, my answer was no. I hadn't lived my dreams. I wasn't loving myself. I wasn't showing up. So I threw everything I knew how to do at it. I wanted to live. So I did the law of attraction. I was doing the visualizations. I was doing the appreciation journal. I was, positive energy everywhere. And it worked. In 3 months, I was fully recovered and miraculously healed. But what I didn't know was that's not the way to really transform yourself, to keep yourself at that level. Because in 2005, I found myself back in that same hospital with the exact same diagnosis. And this time, I had 48 hours to live. And as I was sitting in my hospital bed, alone in the dark, reminiscing over my life and how did I get here, I asked myself, I went in meditation and asked Spirit, how did I get here and how do I never get here again? And what came through was that although I learned how to create anything I wanted in my life, I hadn't learned how to keep it. And how to keep it was totally determined upon how much and how deeply I loved myself. Now that was horrifying to me because I didn't know how to love myself. I thought I was too fat, I didn't think I was really attractive. But I committed myself to the journey because I knew that if I wanted to move from just surviving to really thriving, I had to learn how to love myself. So that took me about 8 years of really deep, intense inner work. And I did. I learned how to love myself fully, to love who I saw in the mirror and who was showing up on any given day, no matter what it looked like. And that journey not only healed my body, but it healed my life. My relationships got better. My work and how I was showing up in the world got better. My health got better. Everything changed when I learned how to love myself. And that, I think, was the total lesson that my disease was here to teach me. Delicious life is a life where the ingredients that make up your life, the relationships, the career, the income, the health and well-being of your body, everything that exists in your life, all those things come together in such a way that your life tastes good to you. And it's also a life that's very imbued and saturated with the presence of your soul, that you're in connection with your soul, that you're guided by your soul. It's really a soul-licious life, a combination of your soul and deliciousness that makes your life something that you're absolutely happy with. As a spiritual life coach, what I'm really doing is being my client's mirror. I'm mirroring back to them who they really are, what they're really capable of, and the power that they hold within to create whatever they want. And as that mirror, I'm also responsible to show them, both in their consciousness and their life, where they're not being in alignment with that truth. Where in their life they're letting their patterns and their pathologies keep them blocked from what they want, where they're stuck on repeat in their life, repeating over and over things that they should be evolving from and moving from, and where, how to tap within themselves and to look at themselves truly, to recognize they have everything that they need to heal, to create, or to allow the delicious life that they desire. That's how working with me looks like, really. I'm going to stand in that place firmly and show you who you really are, where you're being who you really aren't, and how you can connect within with the truth of that to create whatever you want. The first awareness is that whoever they are, wherever they stand, however they look, however much money they have in the bank, that they are enough. That they can stand in the mirror and look at themselves in the eyes and know that I am enough to deserve what I want, for the universe to bring to me the good that I seek, and to have the life that I desire. That there's nothing in me that needs to change, that intrinsically I am good enough to deserve the things that I seek. That's the first one. The second awareness is that they're loved, that they are part of a loving universe, that the source of all things, whether they call it God, whether they call it the universe, the higher being, the higher self, whatever they call it, that loves them unconditionally so much that they are never alone. And that love only wants to give them good. And they're deserving of that good at all times. That's the second awareness. And the third awareness is that they're safe. That they can trust this presence. They can trust this source. They can trust this universe, this God, to support them, to guide them, to lead them at all times. That this presence only conspires for their good and is rooting for them. Those are the three awarenesses that people leave my work with. That they're good enough, that they are always safe, and they are totally and fully loved. You know, mystic to me is someone who has dedicated and committed their life to seeing the world and most importantly themselves through the eyes of their soul. And the modern part to me is, I like gummy bears. I still love roller coasters. I like to go to the movies and be silly and all those things. So all those parts of me are parts of me, that I like those things and that I am dedicated to seeing myself, to seeing the world and seeing everyone I encounter through the eyes of my soul, through the eyes of God. The love saves me, and love is here to save us all. That until we open ourselves to love, especially loving ourselves, until we love ourselves deeply and allow ourselves to be loved by life, nothing in our life can work properly.